G'day everyone. So today it's got a special occasion. There's going to be three of us, maybe four later, maybe five after that. We don't know. It's got Veritas and Ghost Freak here today. We're going to just talk about Tarkov, just talk shit, and yeah. So hopefully you guys can sit back and enjoy our banter. And if you got any questions, just chuck them in chat. Because we don't actually have a plan today. Normally we actually talk about specific things, but today we'll probably just talk mostly about what's currently been going on with either Tarkov ourselves or whatever. So it'll be Tarkov focused, but yeah. We've got Ghost Freak on the left, Veritas in the middle, and myself. So let's start off with, let's go with Pestily. How's everyone's experience been since Pestyly's been added to the game? Because everyone's saying that's the most common topic. There's two topics. We'll get to the second one. The question is, how's Pestily going? And then one after that is, but what about Reshade? How come? What's stance on Reshade? So let's go with Pestily. Ghost, what's been going on?
Well, I only got back from a flight 2 days ago. Well, a day ago. So I've been playing for, in total, 8 hours, and I must say I like it. I like where it's going. I have not been finding anything super dodge. Obviously, the whole desync stuff always comes up. 1 or 2 desync kills, and then I just go, and then I'm like, nah, it's Pestily. Let's go. We're good.
I think that's been the pretty common experience with most people.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody that said anything negative. Performance-wise, I would say it's either nothing has changed or it's gotten better. I don't know how much of that is just a bunch of people and their anecdotes, and I'm hesitant to say that because, like I say, this could be a placebo effect. But for me, the experience over the last 3 days that I've played since they've implemented Pestily has been like night and day compared to I don't know how many months before that. Just night and day. Like it just feels like old Tarkov. I can play like I used to. The only time I ever really get annoyed is when I get killed by like a random scav nade. I think I had one desync death that wasn't sketchy at all, and then otherwise every fight just feels good. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
Could be placebo, but honestly, it just feels so much better. Honestly, everything good. I mean to press that one. My chair's like really far leaning back. I've got like a Officeworks budget chair at the moment because my other one just went to shit. But yeah,
get one of these, you schmuck.
Don't get short on us.
They're like $500, $600 chairs. For me, that's just too much.
Oh, but you're gonna buy one and then you're done.
Mr. Moneybags.
Somebody donate him a chair. Come on.
Somebody just help
Look at the
man
mustache.
out.
Oh wait,
I've got to pay for a Europe trip. That's not cheap.
Nah.
That's not cheap.
We'll get Twitch chat to buy you a chair.
Veritas with his senior software engineer making shit for old people. 9-figure salary.
8.
But yeah, and then I think everyone can agree that Pestyly's been perfect so far. And the common question I get is, but what about Reshade? And I wish I could show you a photo. I don't have it on with me, but it would really have to fuck with the stream because I don't have the 2 PC set up anymore. But I hate Reshade. I'll be out there. I don't use it because to me it feels like cheating. There's so many things you can do with Reshade that makes it like cheating. And people are losing their shit over it. Like, I can't use my Reshade. And I'm like, why do you need it? And they're like, it makes the game look so dull. And the only valid reason I've had so far that makes me feel like people should be able to use Reshade is there are a couple of people that are colorblind or partially blind. And they're the only people that should really be able to use Reshade to like change the colors a little bit so they can actually see color. And or not have, I don't know how colorblind looks, but I feel like they're the only valid reasons.
It's like you say, it's really hard. I'm kind of split on it. I do feel for the colorblind community. Obviously, there is no sitting for colorblind support, and we don't know if they're gonna add anything to it. But I mean, Reshade has been banned in so many other competitive games that it's yeah, it is cheating. Like to me, there's so many settings in there that are so dodge, like the zooming and a few other things I don't want to say, but I feel like it gives you advantage over someone else, and I don't like it, not at all.
I think I probably stopped paying attention and caring about reshade after spending so much time in other people's streams, where 98% of the time it's just people talking about what are your reshade settings. Do you think reshade is banned? It's just, to me, the most boring, least interesting topic. I think the game looks fine. Like I don't expect it to be like Fortnite. Uh, I honestly, if people never mentioned it to me, never mentioned reshade, I never would have been like, this game is really bleak and dull, because it's like shitty, basically post-apocalyptic. Not really, but like war-torn Russia. I don't expect it to be super bright. I don't know. I don't really care. So,
and that's
doesn't
where I
bother me
see it.
either way.
Like, it looks fine without it. I don't understand why people were like, it's so dark, it's so scary, it's horrible. I'm just
what
like,
I want to know is, so when we played PUBG back in the day, I remember that most people actually turned on, or at least a lot of streamers that I saw, but this is way before I streamed, would turn on the colorblind mode just because you can get different color reticles. But that's the only thing that changed. It was like the red zone on the map, the mini map, and
went
the
green.
reticles
It went green, didn't
were
Yeah.
they went green, or like a bluish or like a yellowish instead of the red. And that was it. Nothing else changed. So I don't know. Like I'd be interested to hear from somebody who was colorblind, and for them to explain or like Photoshop up something. Oh, I probably can't. I want to know what it looks like. Is it unplayable? Is it annoying? Is it dull? Is it hard to see contrast? Like I'd be interested to know.
What about if there's someone
Because if it's bad
colorblind in one
enough,
eye?
I would really be um willing to like advocate that that's something that we push Battle State towards implementing if it's really a serious thing for people. I think accessibility in software is huge.
Yeah. I think that's the way. To my understanding, you can use NVIDIA Control Panel, and AMD now have something similar. I don't know the name of it, where you can actually just change digital vibrance, and just if you really want that extra color or to change a couple of those basic settings, both of those programs can do that. You don't need a whole second, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't need to have a whole third-party program. Just fuck with every setting in the game.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I fucking hate it.
I think I found one streamer using reshade, and he said he was colorblind, but I couldn't watch his stream for longer than 2 minutes because his trees looked like it was. I felt like I was on LSD because it was so vibrant. So I don't know.
Like a Minecraft texture pack.
I don't know what's the appeal of that, and how green would help him boost it over to when he can't see green.
There's a screenshot I've got of someone in factory at nighttime, and they've actually like inverted the colors and made it
like thermal.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty much, it's just like everything's like like imagine like a techno rave party. Everything's like a fluoro color, and there's only like 7 colors. It's like all the bright colors, and so a person just stands out like so well. And you could do it on any map, and just nighttime turns into daytime, and it's just so shit. Like, I'll find the image and I'll post it on my Discord later, because it's just my understanding. This game should be as fair as possible, and if they just when they said that, or people were complaining that reshade was banned, I was like chuckling. I was like,
I was just like, ooh.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks for so many people. Ooh. No, I just do not care.
It's so bad. So bad. And you know what's the worst part? People still come to us and hey, are they gonna fix reshade? Or someone makes a video. It's okay, guys. They haven't said publicly that they're gonna fully ban reshade. It will come back. It's just Battle Eye. So no, dude, it's like,
I don't talk to Nikita very often, but I did speak to him around about the time the Battle Eye announcement was happening, and he said that reshade would not be banned. So he actually said that. So if he's changed his mind, that's totally up to him. He's allowed to do that. But yeah, I thought it was interesting.
I recall reading, I don't know if it was either on Reddit or on the forums or I don't even want to say this because now I'm not 100% certain, but I remember somebody saying that, well, never mind. Never
No,
mind.
no,
I'm
no.
not even
It was
I,
it
I
was
don't know.
one of the podcasts.
You can't go half
that
in and not go
Nikita-
balls deep, mate. You got it. You started it now.
Yeah. One of the podcasts, Nikita mentioned that they want to all fix the options in Reshade, work with Reshade to get rid of those options that are OP, or they want to just entirely get rid of it.
That was the Russian
And-
podcast, the most recent Russian podcast.
Yeah. And I think I know what you're talking about, but I just can't remember because I don't give a fuck.
Well, I thought I saw
Reshade.
somebody. I thought I saw something written that, and I don't know if this was a streamer, if this was like someone like Nikita in actual like official terms, or if this was somebody like a community manager, or I don't know, somebody who just knew somebody. But they said something along the lines of like, if you try to circumvent it like a number of times, like initially you'll just get flagged and then it won't let you like launch the game, but if you repeatedly do it you could get banned. But I don't know, that just seems kind of like hearsay, and I don't,
It's like a warning
to me
system on
it's
Battle
just
Eye.
not worth it.
Mm.
Yeah, because so Battle Eye, I've been trying to do as much research as I can because I'm just interested from like a software perspective, but I'm fairly certain that it uses um some form of either like machine learning or something to find patterns, and it's a lot more sophisticated than I think a lot of people think.
You're
but
diving
it
into the
takes
code of
time.
Battle Eye so you can just know better, hey? I think we found the head creator of cheats for Tarkov right here.
My last name is
No, don't
Chods.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Anyway, moving on.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, unfortunately. Fuck.
We'll edit it out. We'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
For YouTube purposes, don't worry.
We'll do it live later.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. So yeah. No. Let's just see where it goes. I think there'll be an announcement soon enough where they'll just be like, you can use this reshade and that's it. Or they'll be like, no, we're gonna stop at that entirely. Reshade can't be used. But I think if you want to make it realistic and all that other bullshit, immersive, just keep it level. Keep the playing field level. That's what I always think.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. People would then advocate to you that if they're colorblind, then it's not level, and that colorblind settings would make it level. I mean, honestly, that's the only reason why there's even remotely a discussion about reshade. You know, because if it wasn't an issue about accessibility, even if there's like 7 people in the fucking community that have issues, like I still think it's worth
putting a colorblind setting in.
Putting a colorblind setting in. But yeah, if that wasn't an issue, I would just say stop fucking crying about it. Deal with it. That's the design of the game. If you don't like it,
yep,
buy a different monitor. Change your setting. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Nikita did say that this game is not gonna hold your hand, and it's supposed to be this hardcore game. You know, I mean,
everyone will always look for the added edge and advantage, though.
Yeah, I mean, I especially love doing it. You know, the whole DPI turning, you know, working that out so that my arm is 100% to my mouse sense. You know, I don't know if you guys do this or you guys even try to calculate it on your turnings, but I pretty much do that just to have an advantage, or just to know that my sense is 1-to-1. Doesn't matter what arm I have on, my turning speed will be 100%. I went throughout that just to get that perfectly. But I mean, I'm just a competitive guy, so I'll do that. But
does that change like with your monitor settings or like resolution? I mean, there must be a lot of shit you have to do to normalize that. No.
3 things. All of them were a pain in my ass. Yeah.
Well, seeing that the patch is only a week or 2 away, with the announcement prevalent and imminent, do we start talking about what's coming up in 0.12? Actually, I'll tell you some things I do know, which I know...
It was Monday or Tuesday, right?
No, it's always Thursday, so it'd be Thursday week.
No, it's Thursday. Thursday.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's about 12 days away. Maybe. Yeah, about that. About 12. So I know for a fact Voight's been pushed back, and I think some of the weapon placements are pushed back as well. To my understanding, besides that, the majority of the actual patch is all going ahead, which is pretty sick. So the one thing that always is a question that comes up in my chat is, what do you think of the weapon placement systems, and then how do you think it's going to affect? I think the only one that's actually going to be any use is going to be the mortars. I don't know how you're going to aim them, but if someone's sitting there on a 50 cal, it's going to be the easiest kill ever.
Did you say weapon placement?
Placements, the stationary weapons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm literally never going to I'm never going to use it. I don't even like sniping in this game because
you're stationary.
If you have people sniping, literally the only thing, the only equalizer is who sees the other person first. Because if you can't just put your crosshair on somebody lying down on their head and pull it and click, you shouldn't be playing the game. If you're lying down and they're lying down, so at that point it's like, who's better at Where's Waldo? That's literally all it is.
That's what pocket thermals are for.
What?
That's pocket thermals.
You don't know what a pocket thermal is?
Yeah. The weapon placements. It's I heard one's on extract.
Yeah, I think it's on the train car. So there's a train car. We saw a picture of it. I don't have it with me, but there's a train car with the 50 cal. It looks like the 50 cal is inside it, and I think that's also going to be the exfil. You activate the train drives off, and you're in the 50 cal, shooting the 50 cal off, which I think is pretty fucking cool. But it's going to be so easy to get slaughtered.
It's going to be a stationary. Everyone's going to know where it is with the first 2 hours. I'm going to play offline just to know where it is. I'm never getting on something like that, but because that's the first place they're going to look on.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the animation is, because I don't think we ever, except if you count door animations, right? How's the animation going to be of you getting on it? Are you just going to be like Battlefield, pop off it, or are you going to slowly climb on it? Because when I get shot, it's the old door mechanic where you're stuck at.
Yeah.
Let me just open this up and let the guy shoot me in the face. It's.
You think it'll have a metal blast plate kind of thing where you only have a rectangle?
You've got a sandbag in front of you.
Yeah, pretty much. From the photos that we've seen.
I think you'll have from your pretty much your nipples up exposed.
Okay.
Nipples is not a banned word on Twitch, Veritas. You can actually say nipples. Nipples is.
I was trying to picture where the nipples were on a USEC, and then I just went down sort of a dark
rabbit hole,
erotic path that I don't really want to. We'll leave that there.
Yeah. So. But the AGL, so the automatic grenade launcher, I think that's just going to be ridiculous as well. Server crashing and that, but we'll see how we'll go.
I've only heard stories from Ghost. I didn't play Tarkov when there was that thing. I just remember hearing your stories, dude.
It's called, it's the server destroyer. Literally, it's you shot it. It's all you hear the of the sound, or it flies through the air and then it stops, and then you're like, I killed the server. You instantly killed the server back then. They had to completely remove it. I've only seen it explode once. Until then my game crashed.
Well, it's probably to do with how they've got in the patch notes that there's new explosion animations. It's probably to do with that, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining that's with the 40 mils. That they'll have that, so you can.
Yeah. I don't want to experience it.
Are you guys going to just know off the new map when the patch comes?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to jump on there and immediately run around, and it totally depends on the loot and the AI. Do they have good shit? Is there good stuff? And is it fun to fight on? If it is, then I'll basically be maining that. If not, I'll probably just go back to labs and just run labs when I'm not running quests, because it's the only thing that makes sense.
Labs makes so much money.
I don't know.
And I'm still trying to figure out the fastest way to level. It's a mixture of labs and questing. I haven't got it down right yet. But you know how the fastest I leveled to 40 was like 12 and a half hours? I'm pretty sure I can do it now in like 14 to 16 hours. Which is still 1 to 40.
Why slower? Because the quests are hard?
They took away the ability to hand in quests without looting them in raid. That was the reason.
Yeah.
And then they reduced the XP by about 25%. So there was 150 quests and you could do 100 of them without even really being in raid for most of them. And so I was able to do 12 hours 1 to 40, but then they changed to the quest lines and stuff like that. So that's why everyone reads so hard, because now they have to actually find the items to do a quest
themselves.
Yeah. So, which was back before the flea market. Before the flea market, you used to have to do that. Like, you used to find items yourself and then hand them in. So, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to level. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I want to go mill base, but I feel like I'll just get lost in it and I'll just be running around like clueless. You know.
Well, that's how I was back in the beginning when labs first came out. Pest, you were asking me how I was doing with labs, and remember, I fucking hated labs at the beginning. Like, I couldn't stand it because I was already so far behind that I felt like I just didn't know the map, and map knowledge is like 98% of survival, honestly. And you were running around like you knew it like the back of your hand, and I think that worked well for you, you know? So
yeah. Armor's the power, though, so I'll probably just try and get to the point where I've got good armor, and then I can go mill base without having to worry about dying. The funniest thing...
So, with labs twice, and you'll be stacked.
If you go military base, if they are PMC or not scavs, but PMC or raiders, if there's raiders in the military base, that XP from them having the gear, it's going to be like labs.
Well, there's going to be a scav boss with protection detail.
Yeah.
On mill base. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Because they will be the raiders of the map.
Yeah.
I wonder how beefy they'll be.
If they have no face shields or anything, I mean,
I reckon it'll be like Rashala.
Well, I mean, it could matter because do you remember for like a few day period where they buffed the raiders where their head HP wasn't like 85 or something? Like, that's actually significant. You need to 3-tap them with some bullets.
Yeah.
And I've been working on with the app and working on a calculator to be able to like tap on zones of the body and see how it gets distributed and stuff when a limb gets blacked out and stuff. And I had to take into account, I'm like, oh shit, I realized now Rashala has different HP and the Raiders have different HP. And looking at those numbers, it's like, holy shit. Some of those things are significant. And then, you know, that's why it's awkward sometimes shooting those guys, because we've been trained for years now that you know 3 bullets to the chest will kill, you know, an unarmored scav. And now it's like, oh, now they have twice as much HP or 4 times as much HP in their legs. You know, like, wow, I need to. That's why I think you'll actually do better with armor pen ammo to the chest against like Killa than you will doing like leg meta to his legs, just because he has so much more HP in his legs.
I've actually noticed Slash using M80 ammo against raiders is pretty much dropping most raiders 2 in the chest, which has been really effective because the M80 ammo now does 80 damage with like 45 pen, and it's quite effective to you can try the app out.
Yeah,
I'm pulling the numbers up.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting because Slash has been doing it, and I used the SA58 yesterday, and I was like, shit, this is actually really effective against raiders. So I think that will be the go-to meta for killing scav bosses. If I was to pick a gun, would be SA58
or any M80, you know, counterpart rifle. I've been running M80 over M62 and M61 like forever now, because it's just like you can't beat 80 raw damage into the chest. You or destroy the armor or it pens, and you're wasted. Like, that thing just destroys armor in 2 or 3 shots. I've had guys come to complain. They're like, what did you hit me with? They didn't see traces and they didn't think it was M61 because it didn't pen, but it destroyed their armor. the next time they peak, and then it's over.
Yeah, I actually got in a fight, one of those fights that like went far too much longer than it needed to, against a guy yesterday. I think I was wearing just high mobility Gen 4, and the dude sprayed me. Like, honestly, based on the fight, I thought he was using PRS, and he was using a Golnik.
Yeah, it's overpainting.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I actually need to run the numbers on that because it doesn't quite make sense. If you get shot enough of the times in your thorax to get, 62 out of 62 Gen 4 down to 0,
it does. I think
you should die.
Pen has no, because if you keep healing, you would have been healing in between, surely.
No. This is literally I jumped down like from stripper pole in factory face to face, and we were just spamming each other, and I think I had full armor before that, full health, and he zeroed out my armor, and I had like 80 HP left or 60 HP left or something. And I mean, unless he had PRS in the first half of his mag and a Golnik in the bottom half.
It also covers stomach, so he might have hit you in the stomach a few times too.
Yeah.
Golnik.
This is where having like a calculator would be interesting, right? Because you could then say tap your chest, tap your stomach, and be able to see, because it's such a mind fuck trying to picture how this stuff all really works.
At the end of the fight, was your armor zeroed?
0 out of 62, yeah, and I had the high mobility. I'm fairly certain, so it wasn't my arms, wasn't protecting my arms.
Yeah. So what was your chest, your thorax on, your HP? What's your HP on?
Probably like less than 20.
I reckon he went full auto in your stomach and kept hitting your stomach.
Stop. Dude, you probably stopped 3 fucking Golnik rounds, which I don't know how you did.
The chances of that are so nearly impossible.
Possible, exactly.
I'd look at
that they destroyed it to 0.
6 shots to
there's
the stomach.
There's a 96% chance for Golnik to pen full durability. Gen 4, 96%.
It's okay.
And as soon as it takes a couple of, it's just 96, 97, 98 up until 100%. Yeah. So how much damage does Golnik do? It does 37. And how much HP do you have in your chest? God, that's fucking crazy. Who knows if it's bugged or if there's still stuff we have to learn about? It's so hard to know.
Man, I wish I could be there with the fight, because for me, usually people are like, why do you press tab when you're fighting? Like, they're like, there's no reason for you to tab like that. But I'm checking my army values, and I'm just checking like quick. Armor's on 62 or 34, and I'm like, I can tank one more bullet.
Yeah, I'm like that against Raiders.
If you peek and cover, you'll hit tab real quick.
I hit tab, and then I'm like, okay, it's like this, and then I'll go back in. Or I need to heal my chest, or else if one round pains or fractures in my chest, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna one-tap me. So I always heal my chest.
I do that a lot against Raiders, so I'll shoot at Raiders, and when I'm getting fucked up, I'm like, all right, I'll go to cover. Quickly check my armor. Armor's still good, so they got shit ammo. As soon as I know they got shit ammo, I'll charge out there like Rambo, and I'll like, and then one will get me in the face shield and kill me. But that's the secret to Raiders. If anyone wants the inside goss, the secret to killing Raiders like a madman is to figure out, like, go out there, take a heap of bullets, realize they've got shit ammo, and then go out there and finish them.
No, please listen. You know what's the best thing you need to do?
What's that?
It's this small, right? It's this small. What you got to do is you got to put it right here, right? You're going to have to put it right there. And if you put it right there...
It's the wrong side.
You instantly get a 2-second head start over everyone.
I've already got one pre-made. All right.
No, you don't. Don't tell me.
There we go. All right, now no one knows what's going on in the ping to my room. All right.
Jesus Christ.
I love you for that.
You should Photoshop up like a ping of like 350 and just keep it there and have it like a little GIF. It's just like red, orange, yellow, just constantly changing, even though you're just playing locally.
That's actually really smart.
Oh, that's good.
Can you do that for me?
Maybe.
Poor Bert.
Maybe after the wipe next week.
Has to be high ping, like
next week.
has to be over 300.
12 days.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Definitely. How's the buddy coming? The buddy app.
Good, man. I'm hoping to submit it to Apple. My goal is by next weekend. So, there's some last minute things I wanna try to cram in. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to honestly to use it and to start seeing other people using it, because some of these calculators they're things that, like, I'm making these calculators because I have theories about how things behave, and I've just never sat down to like run the numbers on it. That now I can actually just like quickly tap it and say, oh, well, now I know. If my Gen 4, is 50% durability, right, and somebody else is shooting an AK, and I assume they have BP, what are the chances of it penning? Like, does anybody have any idea? Like, how long that would take me to pull up the spreadsheet and to figure that out? Like, it would take me quite a bit. I know in about 2 seconds, I don't know if you can even see that it's 94%, right? So if you're against a dude with an AK who's most likely got BP, like your 32 out of 68 Gen 4 is basically useless. I'll go run in a bush and throw that on the ground if I'm playing on customs or something, and then go fight him again, because I'll get that shit back in insurance.
Yeah. But, if anyone who doesn't know in chat, Veritas has been working probably about a month now, 6 weeks on this app.
It's like 6 to 8 weeks, a couple hours a day.
Yeah, so he's building an app for iPhone. It's eventually going to be on Android once he hardens up. And it's going to have a lot of options to understand, like, modding in the game. It can actually tell you what mods go on each gun. It's going to have everything. I might end up helping out with the quest side of things and doing like short 15-second videos on each quest. I'm waiting for the next patch to start that, because there's going to be a change to all the quests. There's no point me doing it now. There's no point doing it now, because the patch will come and then I have to change it again. So I'm actually going to try and make like a 10 to 15-second video for each one if Veritas still wants me to do that. And you'll be able to have on your phone. You go.
That's going to be the hardest thing to do, because I don't have access to Battle State servers, right? So I can't right now, at least. Maybe in the future I can collab with BSG, but I don't have any ability to access your insurance, your profile data, the flea market. I don't have any access to any of that stuff. There's a bunch of things that I could put in, but would involve manual updating. Like quests, which I don't want to do any manual updating. Right now, the way that the app works is there's an API, which if anybody wants to come at some other point and talk, I can get links and stuff. But basically, there's an API that my app will pull data from. So it'll update everything in real time as soon as you launch it. So I would assume that within 24 to 48 hours after 0.12 comes out, you won't have to update the app. The app will just download all the new data and everything should just work. But something like quests, I don't have access to in the API, so I don't know how that would.
The thing is, like, I'm going to be making a heap of new quest guides once the quests come out, so it's not really a big deal for me. Instead of having it in all-in-one video, I'll just export short little snippets, and you could just date it as correct as of patch, insert date, or whatever. And then that way, like, we can update it like once every major patch. If there's changes, people can get over it.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I want to add the ability to crowdsource this stuff, similar to a wiki, because I'm not going to be able to keep up with this forever, and I'm not going to be able to maintain it forever. So I want it to work forever. So I want to be able to have people, when a new item comes out, like a new gun, all the items I have now are from in-game screenshots because they look much nicer than the in-game icons because they're so tiny. It would be cool, I think, if people can take pictures of builds and like submit it for a gun and have it get crowdsourced, so that if there's ever any information wrong or missing or whatever, I can get hit by a truck tomorrow, and even if nobody updates the app, updates will come. So it's gonna be like that, Ghost. It's a common trope in engineering that if the one guy over there who's important doing the thing dies on the plane crash, then nobody fucking knows how to do the one thing. So nobody will have access to my Apple account. So nobody will be able to update the app.
Okay. Please don't get hit by a truck. Thanks.
Wow.
That's actually unlikely. I don't go outside.
Okay.
It's the probability of getting hit by a truck is slim because I have no life and I do not leave my room. I was talking to people the other day that were complaining about driving to work, and I was like, "Oh, it's horrible. Getting up cold mornings,
so
driving to work. Ugh." Fuck that.
Such bully, dude. Such bully.
Yeah, Veritas.
No, I'm pretty
works
hyped.
at a senior citizen software company, so he has to drive to work in his Tesla.
Oh no.
But
here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's starting again.
Hey, Reddit.
I read it.
Read it. Read it.
I've lost train of thought. Always too much fun
Point 12.
bantering with you guys.
Point 12.
All right. Let's.
What else is
Hideout.
What else is coming out in point 12?
Hideout. Hideout is
God.
either going to be the biggest waste of
3
time
years.
or super fun. I feel more towards the biggest waste of time.
I think it's going to be the shortened of everything. I think people are putting too much faith in it, and it's actually just you can walk around now. It's basically in-game menu, but you're walking around, and
But
now
you still have
more
your
stuff.
normal menu if you want it.
I don't know how that's going to work. All I know is
Wait,
I can
are you
shoot
sure
a
you
wall
do?
now.
I think so.
I think they did say.
What's the point? Like, to me, did you guys ever play that mobile game, the Fallout mobile game that came out like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like this is going to be. Like, people are like, it's going to change the game. Outer rate healing is going to change the game. You know, it's like insurance.
Okay,
Imagine when people said insurance will change the game. It's one screen and you hit blick, 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 and you're done. That's what healing is going to be like. After a certain point, everybody's going to have so much money that it's either going to be cumbersome or it's going to be something you don't think about.
You know what would be pretty cool, actually, now I think about it? Have you ever played EVE Online?
Negative.
All right, so EVE Online's got, like, skills that level up in real time. So it'll be like, this takes 12 hours to level. It'd be pretty cool in the hideout. You could actually select different passive skills to slowly level up over time. And it's just, like, in the background, just slowly leveling up. It's not...
Like,
we're not
they
like
did say
like
you could
GTA.
level up strength like that, and some skills like that, like your medical skill and everything.
Yeah, like you could level up, I don't know, maybe like your health skill, because you know you got to do this health quest, but it's going to take you 4 fucking years of playing the game to get it, or you could just slowly level it up over a month.
Nah, you need a bench press. Remember, you guys ever played San Andreas where you can get jacked if you just like do the bench press over and over again? I want that. Let me do that.
51 strength, here I come.
I'll pay my nephew to sit here and click all day long while I'm at work.
5,000 reps. Easy.
I think that'd be a really cool thing, but I think the hideout is more to do with stuff like you can upgrade your stash size, you can make ammo. So I think that kind of stuff will actually give purpose to looting specific items a lot more as well. So if you need gunpowder to make ammunition, so if I could build my own BS ammo or 995 or M80, and I just go get, every time I find a gunpowder, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's like another 1,000 rounds I can make or whatever. And then I don't know.
You'll scav into factory and there'll just be bodies everywhere, and you just sweep up the brass in a little baggies.
Yeah.
Clink, 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 clink.
Got to
Just
make
walk out with
reloads.
this
Make
giant-
reloads.
This giant bag. Like, oh, sick! I just found the primer press. Awesome.
Oh
now
my
I can.
God.
Oh, that.
Sit for 14 hours a day and just in menu.
But you know
Just
that there's gonna be an alternative that you can just pay out of it. Like there always is,
You
right? Like
really think
either I
so?
can go to the. Well, I mean, think about it. They're not gonna make you wait to heal. Let's say you get to 0 HP, you die. If there's a time element, you've now become one of those mobile games where it's like you can either buy more life orbs or just come back tomorrow. You know,
Maybe
I don't
they'll
know.
make it that if you die, then you'll be at half health or 30% health. And you can either heal, like use your meds to heal to full, which would cost you money, or you can go back in and be at 30% health. And that's probably their anti-hatcheting saga thing, because you got less health, so therefore it's...
But
I
a
don't
hatchet
know.
runner, if you're a hatchet runner, the difference between you dying is 0 bullets, 1 bullet, or 2 bullets. So being at 30 health, you're still going to die in 1 or 2 bullets, pretty much regardless. It wouldn't deter hatchlings at all.
I agree, but this is what they've said.
Unless both of your legs are blacked out, and running would be painful. Then you can't spawn in and run. Now that's an idea, actually.
You spotted you guys already like screaming.
two broken legs.
Yeah. Just no. I don't know. I think we went through so many variations of offline healing, as in you paying for more meds before you go in, to look after yourself when you get out.
What happens when you run out of money? What are you going to do? Just
brother,
hobble across till you get to something, and then I picked up a screw and a fucking
wheelchair,
sodium.
There's two types
interchange and say hi to Killer.
There's two types of players in the game. There's people that like run out of money frequently, which I was one of when I first started. I don't know how many times my stash was empty. And then there's everybody else who you go in a scout run, you come out with 200k. So if it costs the price of 2 Solua and a morphine, what is that, 30k? I'm already paying 115 to go in and instantly die on labs, and I can do that infinitely when I'm going in with an 800,000 ruble kit. Spending an extra, that's literally the cost of insurance that I don't even look at the price anymore because it doesn't matter.
And just a point that was brought up is like, what would be the difference with Edge of Darkness for the hideout? To my understanding, the stash element portion of the hideout, you'll have like a crate that you'll upgrade, and that will be your stash size. And Edge of Darkness will start on like level 4, the maxed level of the stash size. Standard will start on, say, level 1. Left 4 Dead, is it the other one? What's the other fucking 2? There's 2 other editions. Left Behind.
Yeah, you're a zombie in that one.
But the other 2 will be like level 2 and 3. So depending on which edition of the game you'll start on either 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then that would be they've said Edge of Darkness is going to be the biggest stash size you can have. They made that in a tweet. So that will be the difference. There will be one level 5, which will be the Tarkov Prime one that only streamers get though. So you guys.
Well, not all streamers, because I don't have it.
No, you gotta have enough concurrent. You're still too small.
Yeah, I don't have the viewership because I'm toxic.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that's the answer to that question.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is offline healing coming at 0.12? There wasn't something massively announced, right?
Offline healing, yes, it's going to be with the hideout.
Well, I can just delete my channel, just guys. Oh man, I just don't want to. If it's something as bad, because I don't want to say it, but PSG have had some mistakes before, which they take very long to correct.
There's going to be like
in the day.
It's either going to go one way. Offline healing is going to mean absolutely nothing. It's going to be so small. Oh, you pay 3,000 rubles, you're healed. Or they're going to be like, we're going to fucking make it expensive. And it'll be like 150,000 rubles to heal. And straight off the bat, you'll die 3 times. You're like, I'm bankrupt. And everyone's just like hobbling into their wheelchair, like going to each raid to try and get into their fucking next raid. So I don't think they'll have it in a good spot. They always seem to have something too far of one way. Oh, we've made it so it's gonna be. Yeah.
I don't see, like, it's been the answer from everybody for so long. That like, oh well, out of raid healing is going to be so great and it's going to help, but it's been something that people say that it could just be that I'm a simpleton. I don't understand how and why it will. The unstated assumption seems to be that it's going to make it harder to hatchet run than it is to run with gear. But again, like, I don't know how many times we've shown that like running hatchet, especially with labs or even just pistol, is more profitable. So if it's a money component, it will punish non-hatchlings even more. And if it's cumbersome and annoying, it will literally make it worse for everybody except for the hatchling. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. Do any of you guys understand how it could conceivably make it better?
No.
So, oh my gosh.
I can't think of a way that it's not going to be just annoying. Just 100% annoying.
It's going to be annoying.
Anytime I spend in the
like
menu, I'm annoyed. I'm like, I've got to get back into the raid. I need to kill my shit. Like, that's me every time. Like, I totally ignore my chat. I'm like, just fucking chuck everything in the stash. That's why I've got the fucking most tidy stash, because I've got it all organized. Shit goes in every spot real quick, like that. And then fucking gear on, and I'm back in a raid. And then
back in the raid.
And I don't want to spend any time at all in my stash.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to do now. Everything's going to be easier. Pre-built guns.
Oh, the weapon modding. That's going to be so good.
It's going to be insta. I mean, you're going to have pre-built guns of like, oh, I'm going to buy 15 of these, and then feel bankrupt for like, 2 seconds, and then you're going to put everything on.
That's gonna be so glorious! Holy shit! I hope we can save. Like all I'm gonna need is like 6. If I can pre-save like 6 loadouts, I'll have.
Oh, so
I'll have everything I need. Oh.
So Veritas. So there, the handbook down the bottom left, bottom right. There's that little handbook with the button that keeps coming up. The weapon builds go in there, so you can put you can put as many weapon builds as you want in there. And you can save the loadouts, and then, to my understanding, there's like a cloud little button. And you can actually get like I don't know if it's going to be like a code. And I'll be like, hey, Veritas, this is my favorite M4. And you can give that code. And stuff like that. So as soon as this patch fucking goes live, that's one of the things on my to-do list is to get the best in slot of every gun. And then I'm going to have a spreadsheet available to everyone where they can just put the codes in to get the best in slots of every gun.
Yeah, I was talking to Nikita about that because I wanted to put weapon building in the app. But it's kind of like, other than a couple of niche cases, it's kind of useless unless you can do something with it. But I wanted to. I was saying how it would be cool. It would be cool if I knew how that code was generated, or if that protocol, or if they had an API for it, because then you could very easily share, whether it was a QR code or just some hash string or something. That'd be really cool. Because then it'd be like, what's your favorite gun build? You wouldn't be like linking a command to a clip that shows the build. You just have a copy paste string that's like, this is it, and you just paste it into your game. I wonder if Control C Control V works in Tarkov. You think? Does anybody know?
Yes, in the chat menu, in messages, yes, they do.
Yeah, it does. Oh, cool. Well, there you go.
I don't spam people. I promise.
So, but the cool thing is, like, I can have a spreadsheet as well, which I'm planning to do for all the gunsmith. Yeah. And I'll have a list of gunsmith 1 to 16 or whatever it's up to. It might be 40 by that stage. And you just go to the copy paste all the loadout, the gun loads, like builds, and then you chuck that in, and then you can build the next gun. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I want to have. It's going to be this monster spreadsheet. If anyone's interested in that, I'll want to help out with that. Maybe talk to you later. Yeah.
Let me get a feed for that in the app. I already have a Pestily section in there that I've hidden. But we have too many features that I'm gonna have to.
Listen, are you gonna finally tell them what's my video in the app? All the compilations of like just me saying yeet slowly and loudly.
I did mention there's a button to turn on ads because it's not gonna have ads. All of the ads are just, they come up, it goes yeet, and then goes back away. That's it. And by the way, you have to pay me whatever Google AdSense is. We'll work it out, but you have to pay me like 0.08 of a cent every time I yeet in the app. Sorry, you yeet.
Thanks. Oh, okay. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. I don't have sense.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Yo.
So that's.
Oh gosh.
Do we know anything about the P90 and the do we know any of the characteristics of the round yet?
It's like the bullet data. No.
Yeah, like pen damage.
No.
But PC IRL.
They're meant to be high pen rounds. That's all I know. 5.7 and P90 use the same ammunition. And
do you think that they'd be high pen, like they can't be high pen and high damage, because then there's because the SMGs have no recoil. So you either need to balance it by making them impossible to control, or they can't do a lot of damage. Otherwise, it's so unbalanced. It's like what they did with the.
I don't see. It's every time they put a new gun into the game, it becomes the meta very quickly. Remember the MP7, and the way they balanced the MP7 was to give you 400 bullets, which was 2 raids. But then now it took them, how long did it take them? Probably 3 months to nerf the MP7, because the MP7 used to have like double the damage, the same pen but double the damage, or maybe it was double the pen. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be similar to. It's going to have to be similar to the MP7 and or similar to the Val and the VSS, because like the only reason why the MP7 goes through bullets super fast, but they also nerfed the ammo. But the reason why the Val isn't like the meta anymore, like it used to be way back in the day, is largely because it doesn't do enough damage to be able to kill like a squad of 3 with 1 mag. You can kill one person, maybe 2 people if with really good aim, but you're going to be reloading while the third guy's coming at you because it just empties 30 rounds like that, you know?
You can still do the whole 5-man in 1 mag with new ammo. No, with the new ammo for the Valve. That's why it feels like that, because SP6 isn't as good as it was anymore.
Yeah, but it's like 3,000 rubles around.
Well, exactly, but I mean, it's pretty dank.
When you're okay, so us mere mortals who can't hit insta headshots, on 5 dudes with a gun with broken optics.
I'm not even disagreeing about that. It's fucked.
Who use pleb ammo. I love the Val. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. If the sights on it were better, and if they had bigger mags, or if the ammo did more damage, it would be my favorite gun in the game. But I just feel like I can't take down a whole, as a solo player, I need to be able to kill 3 people reliably with 1 magazine. With an RSAS, I can do that with 5 shots max, right? 3 shots.
Easy.
But with the Val, I mean, you're just trained. It's the reason why I like the 8R over the M4 a lot of times, because you're trained to like start spraying. You've gone through a third of your mag. You're hitting him with the middle third of your mag. Then you're confirming that he's dead with the last third of your mag. And it's like, let me reload. With the VSS, it's like, I'm out. I just killed 1 guy. And it's like, shit. So I just spent so much money.
VSS and MP7, I take a mag per person on factory. So there's 5 mags plus 2 mags for scavs. So I need 7 mags.
Yeah, same.
That's
same
like
theory.
That's like 300,000 rubles of ammo for the ASVAL if you got the good ammo. That's too much.
In one raid, that takes like 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the P90 is honestly going to be, if the fire rate is good, right, and it stays the way that I remember it, it's going to be a nice contender to running over ASVAL, honestly, because there's like 7 types of ammo. Yeah.
Like, remember when we were all hyped when AP 9mm came out?
Yeah.
Oh no, I knew that was going to be absolute fucking
absolute.
It's not gonna
dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not bad.
I
use it.
Yeah, fire rate helped it, but I would never use it in a pistol because I need the fire rate to get so many shots into you guys' face.
Okay, so a fast MT face shield or less, it has it's 1 to 3 bullets depending on luck. A lot of the time I get 1 tap through a face shield. Yeah.
With the AP?
With the AP 6.3. Put it through your
Is that level 3 armor?
Level 3 face shield.
Yeah. Level 3 face shield.
The AP 6.3, 1 to 3 bullets. I've got clips of me dropping people with the ZSH helmets and the fast MT helmets.
You can, but the idea, it depends, right? Like I want to prepare for
if you're pistol running, the
most common scenario. So it depends on the meta. Right now, I was arguing yesterday. Somebody was saying that Igolnik is just better than BS. And I'm like, when it comes to raw penetration, yes, but the fact of the matter is that if I run labs and I run factory, 1 out of every 5 or 6 players I come across has maybe level 5 armor. And if they have level 5 or below armor, BS is just objectively better because they have basically the same amount of pen chance. I can't guarantee that I'm going to hit face shots, but the idea that do you know what the chances of the AP if you have a level 5 helmet, let's not say space shield, but level 5 helmet or level 5 armor.
AP 6.3.
That is, yes, that is, it has 30% durability. So like this would be Gen 4 with 24 HP. What's the chances of AP penetrating?
Well, a full armor takes like 11 bullets. So by that stage, I think it would only take like 3 or 4 bullets.
So how much armor damage does it do? Do we know?
I don't know.
I should know.
I did all the helmets.
So
Captain K did.
68.
Captain K did all the armors, and Gen 4s were like 11 shots.
Yeah, the idea that so if you have a 25 out of 68 Gen 4 assault, the AP has a 0.1% chance. So you'd have to take it down from 68 to 25 if you're shooting them in the chest before you have a 0.1% chance.
To me, though, dude,
I just don't want to be in that. I just don't want to be in that situation. I can't guarantee I'm always going to hit face shield.
So my pistol runs are Grach backpack, no armor, and I'm running for loot, and then I avoid fights. And if I can up gear, then I up gear. So like I'll kill some scavs or a raider from labs, get their gear, maybe find a dead player, so I get some of their gear, and then by the time I've got some of that stuff, I've actually got better guns. I don't actually go on the kill with a pistol, like on the hunt. It's the last resort. The main reason I take a pistol, if anything, is so I run faster, and it gives me the opportunity to kill stuff at range. A hatchet doesn't have that ability.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the P90, if it behaves like the MP7, it will only be the meta because it's new and cool and people want to use it, but it won't last long because it's not good. Well, I mean,
firing rate.
But do we know what the fire rate is going to be compared to like the Val or the MP7?
And it's also 650.
900 RPM.
900.
Yeah.
It's the Val. It's almost the same as the Val.
Yeah, and the Val. So I mean, and what? It doesn't have 50 round mags.
Yeah.
Or 100.
Yeah.
50.
It's got those wacky 50. Ass.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like if yesterday I came across in labs 3 dudes and they all had killer masks. You don't win that fight. You do not win that fight. You lose 100% of the time unless they're potatoes. Yeah. But if you have any other gun, even BP and 7.62, I'd be fine with doing a couple taps in each of their heads, But I just hate every time I decide I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone and use like an MPX or something. I always end up putting 36 rounds into the back of like a fast MT or something, and then I'm like, why the fuck am I even bothering with this?
It goes back to the same argument as like the Glock 18C, like with its 1200 firing rate. If it's got fast enough firing rate, you can just shoot their legs. You don't have to worry about
rip ammo. Yeah.
Shoot
you should see. I actually hid this in the app because I thought it was misleading. I had a DPS calculator, and it would show the damage with the high pen rounds of each gun times the fire rate and the damage of the HP or the flesh rounds. And literally the Glock broke the UI. It was so far off the screen, dude. It was literally off the charts.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like, holy shit.
If in any game, if you're working with damage and your hit rate or fire rate is super high, it doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna put so many more rounds downrange or against someone. This is the one thing I hate about the MP5, right? Let's take the MP5 with its fire rate, 50 round mag, shooting a guy with the Gen 4 full, and his arms are ahead of you. I would never want to take that fight with AP rounds, right? You're never going to get through him. But I would then take an MP7 with FMJ or what's the FMX?
Subsonic?
No, not the subsonics. The first one, the first ones you get. I'd rather use that on a guy than 6.5 AP or 6.3 AP.
Oh yeah.
So,
like, it's just
because like I've always found that with the Glock 18C, particularly early on when not everyone's running around fully geared, it's probably one of the best guns in the game. Like, the amount, because I run faster, I get in their faces, they can't kill me because I don't have the ammo to pen me as easily, and then I can spray them. Imagine if the Glock 18C had a stock and reduced the recoil in half, and you could laser beam.
We're talking about
Pestily,
when you don't have servers with paid actors. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about.
Imagine if you get,
the stock for the G18 is in .12.
In the UK, you can't have certain firearms under a certain length, right? So what they do with the pistols is they just put these fucking long bar stocks on them. They give me one of those long bar stocks on my Glock 18C, and then they put these weird muzzles on them too, just so it's a rifle now, and then just let me.
It's in .12, basically. Didn't you see the stock for it?
I don't know if that's going to go on the Glock 18C.
Stock.
They usually go on the
No, it's no Glocks.
If it goes on that,
no, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
That'll be my.
It's gonna fit on both of them. Yeah, that's why I said you're gonna be G18, 18. I heard. I don't know if it was ripped from the game. I don't know, but 100 rounder for a G18. It's a Buffalo mag. See, perfect. You're gonna be ready for everything.
It's like Tarkov adding in that fucking 100 round mag for the M4. It's such a joke. Actually, it exists.
But no one uses it.
But no one uses it in real life.
Yeah, but no one uses it now in game.
But just because they don't have the rigs for it.
Yeah.
It's actually...
I take it in with me. I always take one in with me, especially if I'm going like customs or factory, because I'll insure it. I'll drop the first one. I'll always get it back in insurance.
The interesting thing about it is they have really high penalty to ergonomics, and I think now that they've actually done something about ergonomics, it's actually probably the best thing Tarkov's done in a while towards balancing out the game, because ergonomics used to mean nothing, like literally nothing. And so you could go in a gun with 0 ergonomics, but have it like minimum recoil, and it's perfect.
Yeah, recoil was so much bigger. I think I did a video on that recoil, and it was basically like no point in building for recoil, because all it does is make you slightly quieter and aim like milliseconds faster. But now it's pretty fucking noticeable. Now to the point where everybody I see is running the Pestily build with the iron sights and the canted sight. All
That's not my build.
You know how many times I've died because I see somebody who's looking directly at me, but because they have the canted sight, I see their elbow out, so it looks like they're turned like this. So I'm like, they're not even looking at me, and then I realize they're looking at me. They're just fucking elbows out to the side. I think it's Pestily every time stream sniping me.
No, I pay people to stream snipe you.
Okay. Listen.
Okay. I mean, I pay people to stream snipe me too. So.
Well, you got to get killed somehow, don't you?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest change though was the fact that with a bad ergonomic gun was now your stamina gets sapped super fast, and that is the biggest change. Like, I wish there was 2 stamina bars, one for running, one for ADS, because it drives me bonkers how. Like, I've got this blue M4 back. That's it there, right? I can hold that up in aiming down sight position for fucking 5 minutes. My arms might be fucking cactus, but I can still run it. I don't know, 4 meters after it. In Tarkov, you can't run. Apparently, it's balance and realism, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they modeled a lot of the behavior after someone like me, who literally, like, I move my mouse too fast and I get a little winded and I have to kind of take a break, take a sip of coffee.
Oh, fucking done.
And also, I mean, you can tell by their voice comms too. They modeled it after. I mean, just picture Twitch chat, and that's also how like the sort of physical fitness, strength, endurance, and I fit in there as well.
You spawn in, you're already out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think they're going to change ergonomics, though. Yet again.
Chat, you
fully.
know it's true.
Yeah, we know. We know, chat.
Why would they change it?
Because it's not... It's depending on the skills that they're going to be changing.
Let's take 2 minutes and talk about skills. I know we've touched it a lot. Strength, should be fucking just nerfed. Assault, all the gun skills should be nerfed. And what's the other ones that I like the 2-time search thing. I think it's good. Anyway.
Do you really think strength should be nerfed? I've never paid attention to any skills. I honestly don't even know how most skills are leveled. People ask me all the time, and I'm like, I literally don't know. I think, and I'm level 67. Guess what level strength I am?
Probably like 7.
No, I mean in the game, not IRL.
Oh, like 14, 15.
12. I'm level 12.
Good.
What's max level, like 50 or something?
51.
51.
Yeah. So and I play the game more than most humans on fucking planet Earth. So
yeah,
like,
but you don't walk overweight every single time.
Because I run overweight because I'm scared.
What's your endurance
level? Why
level?
am I gonna walk anywhere?
What's your endurance level?
Walk to get strength.
Yeah, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Because I don't know about you guys, but I walk everywhere in real life, and I've got pretty small calves. So it doesn't make sense to me that like running should and walking overweight should improve your your strength, your stamina, your endurance. Those are all tied together. Make it meaningful.
What is your endurance level?
What's my what?
What's your endurance in Tarkov?
I mean, it's a great question.
Because if you run everywhere,
I don't know. I don't pay attention to anything except for like the first week of the.
Okay, wait. Let me just get this out. So
my 22 is my level.
Yeah, Nikita said you got a good balance going on there, right? For your strength versus your endurance, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that you sprint fucking everywhere because it's higher. It also means that you're not always overweight when you play, and you try not to be overweight because you don't want to ruin your stamina every time, and you don't take unnecessary shit in with like an ammo box.
Well, no, I'm overweight as soon as I spawn into raids.
3 ways to level strength, right? Being overweight, and it's really fucking slow. Throwing grenades, which 8 grenades is 1 skill point, and meleeing things, right? So
which I've literally never done.
Yeah, so I've just hit level 22, I think, throwables, right? Which is like, I'm trying to quick math that. It's probably like 50,000 grenades I've thrown. I'm not even bullshitting. Like, I've probably thrown about 50,000 grenades.
6,000?
It's a lot. Right, but my strength now is like level 33.
Is it worth it, bud?
I run 66% faster sprinting.
So you get to the LEDX spawn 2 seconds faster than me, assuming that you get a better spawn than me.
It's about the fight, like the moving around with the fight. If I have a pistol as well, it's even like multiplied again. So I can go shoot at you, rip out my pistol. I did this weird flank the other day, which was probably one of the best flanks I've ever done. And I can run around so fast to the next spot that I can get my gun back out. And they don't even expect me being there because they're like, no one could humanly possibly move that fast. Oh, just did.
So what I wanted to say was Nikita didn't intend anyone to get to level 51 of anything, right? That's what they said. They're going to leave the skills until they do the skill update where they start working on everything, right? They made it harder for us to get, obviously, each of the skills, and they're probably going to nerf it now, the next patch, because people have found shortcuts again. So
why don't they just cap it? Just cap it. Make it so that 51 will be the max, and if they don't want people to get there, then make it so that you can't get past 25.
But they also want to see people that get it. What happens?
So then why nerf it? How what
so
could
that
they possibly need to test? Go into the game, hard code that you're max level, and run around for a little bit to see how broken it is.
I need to type it in here so that you understand.
No. I agree with Veritas. Like, I actually have brought up the point that if I had an account with everything at max skills, then I could actually test out what everything at max skills would look like, and then go, all right, this is stupid, this is ridiculous, and we could work out if it's like balanced or not. Because remember how there was that bug where people would get max skills, and like it's just crazy. Everything shoots like a laser beam. Everything shoots.
Well, but it does like if a recoil control is easy to max. If you're level 1 with base level stats and you have an AK-74, if you go prone, there's no recoil.
Yeah.
So now, going prone is the equivalent of you spending 1 billion rubles and throwing 50,000 grenades. That's how I win most of my fights.
No, but as assault rifle we're talking about, right? So if you max the assault rifle skill, I don't know what the max perk is, but getting
-20%.
It's what?
-20% recoil control.
So like we're talking
plus recoil. So
you know how you reload a Mosin?
-50.
I'm gonna have 1,200 people doing this right after I say this. You know how you reload a Mosin, you level up snipers. Well, if you reload an SKS just over and over again, putting around in the chamber, you level up assault rifles. So if you've got max level recoil control and you reload a SKS over and over again, and it doesn't take that long, all the Russians have done it. All the Russian like sweaty guys have done it. That's why they've all got no recoil. Like I've actually just been shooting people. Because every time you hit someone, that levels up your assault rifles. If you've got max level recoil control with max level assault rifles, you no longer need to have a stock on your gun. You could either just go stock guns into raids and then zero recoil. You go pure ergonomics. Get rid of the stock, get rid of everything.
But who cares? Like, does it matter? I don't know. Like, is it something that needs to be changing? The fact of the matter is, to me, skills are so irrelevant because I play the game normally like most people do. I don't pay attention to power leveling anything, and skills, other than the only thing that matters to me that is noticeable to me is endurance, because when the wipe happens, it's like, like it takes forever to like run to Shoreline Resort. But other than that, I don't even know what most of these things do because they're so irrelevant.
Okay, so there's two types of players. Let's go. There's 3 types of players. There's the casual player that really doesn't give a fuck.
I was about to say.
There's the person who just plays for fun, which is kind of where I sit. I kind of just do whatever I feel like. And yeah,
you're a casual.
No, I'm not casual, but I do whatever I feel like for fun, which is why I do all my challenges and stuff like that. And then there's the sweaty min-maxers, right? And they'll do anything.
You're in both of those things.
There's the sweaty min-maxers will do anything to be the best and get the most kills and have the best kill death ratio and the best survival rate, right? And there's a fair few people out there that are like that. In general.
And yet I've never died and said anything about their skills being relevant to a fight.
Because you only do factory.
What? No, he doesn't. He's a little labs boy.
When was the last time you saw?
Because whenever I go to customs, I run around, I don't hear any gunshots, and I waste 40 minutes and I do nothing.
Yeah, well, so
I don't find anybody.
And if I go factory, I kill 4 pistols.
There's people on Amsterdam servers while I'm literally on Amsterdam servers.
I kill 4 people in factory. They're all got pistols, and I'm guessing you're doing the exact same thing. You're a bully, all right? You're a fucking bully.
But at least I got to shoot somebody. I'm not playing. This is not like I'm not. I would play Firewatch. If I wanted to run around the woods and not see anything, I'd play Firewatch.
I don't know what Firewatch is.
But I don't.
It's an indie game. It's actually quite good. Anyway, right?
You're running around the woods and not doing anything. And it's a great game.
Hold on, Veritas. I can't play labs because it's mindless. And I'm not dissing you for it. I just don't like.
Why am I the labs guy all of a sudden?
He's the labs
guy.
You're
not the labs guy, but you play more labs than any one of us at the moment.
No, Pestily plays way more labs than me. That's all you've been playing is labs. I've actually been
playing
playing factory almost exclusively. Yeah, well, there you go.
Is it fun? At times, finding 4 people in a hallway just sitting there, fucking scared.
I threw a grenade and killed all 4 of them.
That's where all the memes come from.
Exactly. I don't want that shit. It's brainless to me.
I want to shoot human beings, and when I go to labs, it's all bots and 1 human. When I go to factory, at least I'm guaranteed 4, minimum 5 person fights, which those are what are dynamic and what are exciting.
Yeah.
If I go to customs or I go to Shoreline, I'll run around for 20 minutes and maybe I'll find somebody and maybe not, or maybe I'll get shot in the head randomly. I don't even see somebody. And that's in like the small edge cases. They just don't have fun, interesting team fights.
Factory is my favorite map. Factory is my favorite map, and I totally agree with you. Before labs, and I spoke about this yesterday. Before labs, factory used to be the place where everyone went full geared. Right. The only reason people don't go full geared now is because they need to get their pistol kills. So I just run into guys with pistols, and then everyone that's going full geared now gets in squads and they go labs instead. So I can't farm factory because all I'm doing is killing low level guys and just making them hate the game with a passion.
That's fun.
It's a trial by fire. You know, you're putting hair on their chest You're welcoming them into Tarkov.
You haven't seen some
That's
of the
what
shit
I
I've
do
done.
when I kill a level. Listen, the level ones I kill, I always say "Welcome to Tarkov," and then I walk away. You know, I feel fine.
I feel really
I
bad
don't
for him, so
cry.
I throw a gun on the ground, and then I realize they've got a gun and I shoot him. Like, that's pretty much what I do every time I go factory.
Yeah, he's got a gun, and then you shoot him. Exactly. It's the listen. Great minds.
Yeah.
Great minds.
What you get one hatchling to you give him a gun, have him follow you, and then have him shoot the next, like every hatchling, have him pull the trigger. You see I've seen some emotions in the eyes of USEC that I've never thought the character models were capable of. There's some existential shit going on in there, and honestly I feel like it's sort of a social experiment that I feel like is worth delving into, and that's what I've been doing lately in factory. Okay, so you can't do that sort of experiment on customs. You just can't.
You'll just, if you have that though, if I started doing that, I would have people's dreams not me, so I could drop them to my gear, and they were like, I got the gear.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you flip a coin at the end during extraction to see if you off them or not.
Oh, that's.
But they've got all the gear now. I have the gun now.
But I mean, I would pretty much just flip the coin, shoot him, and then take the coin and be like, "Oh fuck, I did it the wrong way." You know, I was supposed to.
Don't fuck that up.
Kernworks just said about skill-based matchmaking. I don't think they should ever implement skill-based matchmaking into Tarkov, and it comes back that a lot of the things that people suggest for Tarkov is not a good idea. Back to the one thing, because every game, every raid, every experience in Tarkov should be random. You should not know if you're going against a hatchling, a squad of 5 sweaty geared people, a guy that's been playing casually for a few months and he's not too bad, a duo, a trio. You have no idea every raid. You could be loading into a raid and there'll be like a horde of fully geared hatchlings running at you. You got no idea anything could be possible. And as soon as you put skill-based matchmaking in, besides the arena, like a specific map for that, it's the only place that really should be.
Not going to stop the people from purposely dying, going in hatchet, getting a low skill rating, and then just fucking up everyone in their category until they just redo it again if they run into anyone better.
Yeah,
like
there's so many reasons
ways.
against it.
Yeah, it's just stupid. It's honestly, I'm glad we don't have so much choice in Tarkov at all, right? We can talk about the stuff and our opinions about it, but no streamer has so much change about the game.
The thing that I wish there was more of was, like, I'm fine with there being solo players or squads or low gear or high gear. I just wish that there was, and a lot of this comes from just the state of the game and the schedule and the wipes and everything, but like, I just wish that I could guarantee in every raid that there was going to be action. There's nothing worse than spending 40 minutes in Shoreline and not hearing gunshots. It's like, I don't know. I think a lot of people like that.
Because they're like, I get a raid with easy loot. Whereas I'm just like, another raid with quiet.
Yeah. It just feels like wasted time. Because after a certain point, there's nothing else to do and there's nothing to care about post quests other than the PvP.
Why does there need to be so many servers? That's what
I don't know how many.
Get confused.
I don't know how many servers there really are. Like, it depends on, because there's server locations, but how many instances are there per location is the question.
So, like, a great example is there was 3 Sydney servers. There was Sydney 1, 2, and 3, and I couldn't believe they added the third one after I spoke out about there being a second one being too many. And then they finally cut it back to 1. And I'm so much happier now that Sydney server has 1 server. I can go to a raid now and actually have players in it. Do
you find that your matching is a little bit longer, but you have more people?
Nope, exactly the same. Just, if anything, shorter, because now I get into raids faster.
I think it's because of the total of number of people coming up as soon as the wipe hits. Because honestly, there was times... No, that's actually so fucking hard. The server shit seems so easy, but it's not.
And the other side is like, let's say the player base is a quarter of what it is at its peak. So let's say peak is wipe plus 1 month. And then right now we're at month 5. We just entered month 5, so it'd be, this would be, say, the quarter mark, the quarter of the player base. If the servers could handle, say there was half the servers, but during peak it could handle it, that'd be sweet. They've got to work out what is the max of players they can hold, and then just have it like 10% above that, and leave the servers at that.
I mean, it seems like they would need to, and I'm not a server engineer, but I wonder if they have some sort of scaling system where, depending on the number of people in game per region, they'd spin up servers dynamically. Because like if there's 6 people playing, when I want to think about these things, especially from like a software perspective, it's interesting to come up with actual real use cases. Let's say there's 6 people in AU, right, in that one server. 3 of them are in a raid on customs, 1 of them's in a raid on factory, and you want to queue up. You'd have to wait 20 minutes, right? So like at what point you need to have, for every time slot where there's like, if you're going to have a minute of matching, right, or 2 or 3 minutes, it's like there needs to be at least 5 people in every window to make that viable. Otherwise you either don't fill it or there's not enough servers. So it's a really fine line, it's,
And the servers will launch after 3 minutes. At least from what I can experience on the servers I've played on. If the server's completely empty and you're in queue for that map, it will launch in 3 minutes no matter what. 0 players I'll say will be 1 because you're in it, and 12 players being max. It'll spawn at the 3 minute mark, which means I almost feel like that should actually be extended to 5, and then entirely cut away that, there's a server, it's only just started, but it's within the first 2 minutes and we'll spawn you in there. Because those 2 minute late spawns is probably the contributor to about 80% of my deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucks up. Well, I mean, so that's the other, there's multiple pieces to that. So there's 2 things I think worth talking about. I just saw somebody had the idea. Is it Imbaslap? Not sure. It scrolled away. But that's actually a really good idea of, imagine if you could just say quick match, and it would put a bunch of people together, and as soon as it got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, it put you in the first a random map. That would be really cool, because then it would kind of make it so that it's almost like Strat Roulette, Tarkov Roulette. You don't know where you're going to go. That could be interesting, and it would improve matching.
Yeah, it's like the quick system for Battlefield 1 and 5, where you just quick match, and you don't know what game mode, map, anything. You're just going to be thrown into a game.
I actually really like that
but
too.
You're going to find a game
because it makes
it a really good idea.
It makes it really hard to get stream sniped as a streamer, because you don't even know where you're going. You know what I mean? Like,
I would definitely do it.
And if it makes servers full, well, that's good too. At least you know.
If you know you're going to get a legitimate full game, 12 people, then yeah.
And it would make it so that at this point, like, everybody just chooses labs or factory or whatever, because like that's where the stuff happens. But it would make it so that like you'd end up playing. I love customs. Customs is probably like my favorite map design wise, but it's just so dead. Like, my favorite part of customs, remember by Boilers when it was like you get into a fight instantly and everybody complained about it? Low key, that was my favorite part of Tarkov. That was my favorite span in Tarkov, when it was like insta spawn fights, because it felt it. Well, yeah, exactly. But it was like because the fights are having those cool guaranteed fights with lots of people, but in different open areas is super awesome.
It's a quick match button, but you have to select 3 maps.
Oh, that would be sick.
So then you go, okay, I'm happy to go factory, customs, and interchange, or mill base.
Because you have the keys. Or
it automatically filtered out labs, military base, and, like, make it so that it's not labs, military base, and factory. Or whatever, right? Like,
I'm just saying the ones that, because, like, I hate going woods, so I would not want to get put onto a woods map. But if you just had...
But why?
Or maybe...
Because nobody plays it, or because you don't like the map?
I don't like the map. The only time I like going to the map is when I want to snipe.
I would dig... Woods were... Back in the day, Woods was my favorite map, because it was full of 5-mans. It would be 5-man to my left spawn on the open side, and 5-man across the map. And it would be the sickest PvP to outflanking and sniping, and it was the best map for me. Because there's times
because you
ran
can take
into...
advantage of it by moving and by having good aim, which you can't do when you come across a 5-man anywhere else. You need big.
Exactly. You need to be precise and smart with your... Because if you peek out somewhere else, 3 people are going to shoot you in the face at the same time. And I would just destroy squads because they didn't know how to play the map. And that's why I love Customs. Customs has close quarters, far, mid, everything for me. And it's... Well, now it's differently with the one side of the map opened up, which kind of feels...
That's actually a really cool idea too. You could actually have, with the quick match settings, you have it like long range, short range maps. You have a map like they're like categorized, so you can pick a quick setting for one group or quick setting for one other group.
So factory or everything else is what you're saying.
Well, it'd be like, say, let's go factory, labs, like mill base, for example, and then the other one is the other maps that are further out. Just an idea. There are actually, it's still a pretty sick idea, and would help with. You know what always happens every time I make a video on YouTube about this? It's like, oh, that's an Australian problem, because I know Europe doesn't have that issue. Europe always has people in their maps.
Dude, it depends. Everybody says I've played enough on all this. I've never played in Asia, never played in AU, but I played East Coast. I've played like Central US. I've played West Coast, and I've played ton of like Amsterdam and London. And everybody, like, I see so many people saying all of the cheaters are in X region, or the other half of the people say there are no cheaters in X region, or there's so many more people in London, or there's nobody here. It just depends on the fucking time of the day. Wherever it's 8:30 p.m. is where it's the busiest. Yeah. There's cheaters everywhere. And the performance, like, there's no difference. Everybody thinks that they're the special case. Every server's the same. The only difference that I've ever noticed is that back in the day, in like 0.8 and 0.9, I will say that in EU there were on average more geared players in factory. That's all I can say.
Before labs.
Labs.
Yeah.
The annoying thing.
I feel the same.
Is like. Yeah. I get flack on so many levels. It's like, oh, you're playing on Australian servers, so your servers are empty, therefore you get an easier version of the game. And then I go play on America. Oh, you're abusing ping to play on America. You're fucking cheating. Like I can't win. It's like I'm moving.
You can't win because you hit the start streaming button on Twitch. No matter what you do, you can't win.
You've lost. I mean, dude, honestly, if I can connect to that server, it's fair game. And that's what I've been saying. I'm like, I can connect to your server. You're getting fucked. I mean, sorry, you know, I'm gonna come kill you on your server. I'm allowed to be on your server.
Suddenly, extremely sweaty. Can someone clip that? You're getting fucked and just crop it in, please, because that's a new alert.
No, stop it. But what I'm saying is, it's if you can connect to that server, you can play there. The game has limited you to, if you can connect there, you can play there.
See, I'm in that really annoying spot because if I lived in Sydney or Melbourne, I could connect to California. But now I have to get a mod to invite me to go to California. Because I'm like 8 hours west of Melbourne.
I will say like 100. If I play on London or Amsterdam, my ping tends to be somewhere between like 90 and 110. To me, the gameplay is not really much different. As soon as you get
depending on servers
higher than that,
I can't play on EU. EU is a joke to me. Like, it's just weird. 300 plus ping is just not fun.
No, I remember we did that when we played Mort out that one day, and you were literally, dude, you were fighting me in 2018. It wasn't milliseconds. We're talking. There was days difference between us. 300 ping is huge. 100 ping is, I don't know, not really much of a difference.
Oh my god. No, I play an average of 110 to 120 at maybe on another server 90. But it's now people are complaining about that. That's like, that's too much. That's like, oh dude, you have like a 2 second, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it also works both ways.
Yeah, I know. You thank one peg for that one.
I've had, hold on, today I've had a fight with another streamer. and the ping difference was 150, and he had 12, and I put our streams together. Do you know what the delay was?
170 milliseconds.
It you couldn't even fucking. It was when I laid down and I made that the crouch sound. He hears it perfectly in sync with mine.
I don't want to go on this topic too long, but
no. I don't want to go.
I've got video footage of 2 streamers from Australia, being myself and another one, and I spent probably half an hour trying to get the fucking the streams to sync up, like, and we were on the same fucking server with like less than 30 ping, right? It's not like to put 2 videos together, like when the raid goes to 0 timer. That doesn't always mean 0 timer for both games. I'm fairly confident of that, because when I tried to sync up the streams with the timer hitting 0 at the same time, it doesn't work. But what I do is I use the audio on that, and that's with both players being on the same server at a low ping. So it's just what it is. Using 2 streams.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is the timing makes less of a difference, but what makes more of a difference is the fact that like when I play with you, Pest, the timing of things doesn't feel weird, but the fact that you're there and then it's like all of a sudden you like kind of skip around and stuff. It's to me it's not a ping and not a timing issue. It's more of just like a weird connection.
Packet loss, server desync, or just the server skipping. It's not ping. Usually it's what people have problems with their information being sent. It's not just I could have 120 ping, right? And I'm over here, right? In South Africa. You can have another guy in Europe having the same ping, but he has much more packet loss and desync, and he would be fucking skipping, and we're on the same ping wise and also the same almost distance to the same.
I mean, that's just because one person's got fiber, another person's got Comcast, and another person's stealing their neighbor's Wi-Fi. I mean, that contributes.
I'm not stealing Wi-Fi.
A massive. Okay, well, so those aren't all the options, all right? You're stealing my Wi-Fi. There's an Ethernet cable going out my back door, and when I tug on it, I can see the cable behind you moving. Is that? No, is this you?
Yeah. Enough about that shit. It's
uneducated
people. Like, I'm not even educated enough, and I've done part of Cisco and like CCNA, and I still don't fucking understand networking that well and gaming networking to make comments on that shit.
But that's why if Slush Puppy was here, he would destroy it within 60 seconds. In his stream, he destroyed it in 60 seconds, and I really had a raging coffee. Yeah.
The problem is it's something that we can't control. And what happens if I just want to play with my friend? Hey, Veritas, you want to play a game? Oh, no, sorry, I don't want to piss people off. All right.
I've got a pig it.
Press that.
I don't want to play with a cheater, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not good for my rep, You've got a bad juju. I don't want it to, rub off on me.
Oh well.
Fucking cockstark.
I don't know what language that even was.
I hope it's not anything offensive, otherwise I have to ban him.
No, it wasn't.
Well, we're on your channel, Pest, so technically they'd have to ban you.
No, but I can't control a guest on my channel. And if I do, I have to ban him now, and then he's gone. And then I've done my part. I'm doing my part. Yeah. You don't know what that's from? How old are you? You said you're 30.
I didn't say I was 30. Why you gotta dox me?
Why you gotta dox me? They're gonna know exactly.
They know my last name, and now they know how old I am. Why don't you just give my fucking social?
All right. Hang on, I'll just load it up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I've got so many fans in chat that would love to come say hey.
I've got so many people.
What was I going to say? I think we touched most points, Oh, actually, the only one we haven't spoken about is the Woods Boss. I can always see it being in two spots. You know that I call it spine and AIDS rock. That big rock. You know how there's like that cache in there? I reckon most people say it's going to be at the plane. The scav boss on Woods is going to be at the plane crash, because they're going to be protecting a cache.
Yeah, but
Cache.
they said they were opening Woods. Woods is being opened up, and there's a building going to be added.
Yeah.
Why would they open it up? Just put a building. It doesn't need more open space. There's parts of Woods I've never even seen before.
What do you mean?
It's like 4 meters square.
So there, is it spine, that big
Yep.
fucking, if you just follow that all the way back, there's nothing there, dude. There's no reason to ever go there. The only reason I've ever been there is because I was new and I got lost.
It's so that people can be spread out, when they spawn. Jesus, why?
Does anybody ever spawn there? I don't think I've ever spawned back there.
I feel like
yeah, you spawn there.
They just need to add like some more. Like this. I call it Santa Hut, Scav Hut. They just need to put some stuff like around, just like that. Just like in more.
But that's why
more
I think
locations.
they're gonna make the building. I don't know where I'm getting this from, but they did say they were editing. They're gonna add. It's like a military building, and
Someone said a bunker system.
A bunker, yeah, and it's gonna have weapon placements, and it's gonna have the scav boss and the mortar system and everything. You're gonna be able to pick it.
It's already got those bunkers. I wonder if those will be like interconnected, like in PUBG.
It'd be pretty cool to connect bunkers up, but at the same time, that would be a massive bunker system.
Massive.
To go from one side of the map to the other via the bunkers.
Nobody would go on the top side. Everybody would just walk through it would just be factory. Like factory is under Woods, confirmed. We just figured this out. That's where the camera bunker door, when you open that up, the other side of that door is that ZB014.
I want to play Woods now.
Nikita unlocked it for me.
Woods is awesome. Honestly, man.
I've had my best
Woods. It's just
sniping battles on Woods.
There's just nobody there. Doggo.
He's so strong. He just opened that door with his mind. Trust me, Chad. Doggers and Chad, boys. Do it.
You bed. It's gonna bark. Hang on.
Is that a dingo?
Dingo.
I posted a duck. I posted it. So now we can actually talk.
Damn, dead ass.
He doesn't need... Oh, yes, his headphones on.
I didn't tell him to his face.
Anyway.
I was talking about the dog.
So the scav bosses, right? There's two of them. One's coming into the
Woods.
Military and Woods. Why do I think there's going to be two on Woods? Why did I think there was going to be two?
It's not. It's only going to be one.
Wishful thinking?
Yeah. Jeez. No, I think it was Nikita back in the day where they said there were going to be two scav bosses and they're working together on Woods.
I don't remember that.
Nah, from my understanding, it's going to be... It's a scav boss protecting a cache, was the last information we got. Cache, hidden thingy. And that means to me, it's either going to be the plane, that little fucking like rock bit, where you walk in, there's like one weapon crate, or it's going to be in the lumber mill.
I hope they don't do anything with the lumber mill. Like, that's already the only focal point of the entire map right now. They need to put stuff on the other side of the map, opposite Scav House. They should have there should be 3 Scav Houses on the side of Scav House, and then 2 bigger buildings, like another lumber mill, kind of conceptually, not an actual lumber mill, on the other side of the map. Fill some of that up. You know what I mean? The way, at least the way the customs works, is that people will go to, there's the red building, then there's the construction, then there's
dorms,
and then there's the 2 gas stations. Like there's at least a kind of a path, a route that you can take, and there's reasons to go to all those places. There's no reason to go anywhere except
points of interest.
Yeah, there's no points of interest unless you're doing a quest.
Pretty much.
So.
It is true. There's only small for a beginner to play woods. It's actually good. You know, you can go and you can scavenge and you can flank around and take so many open paths to get safely across, right? So many things he can check, and each building he sees, he could find something in there. There's always loot in each building.
I don't know about you guys, but when you first started playing Tarkov, this might just be me, but it was nearly impossible for me to navigate woods for like dozens of runs, because even when you have the map, you don't know where you are, and there's almost no actual points of interest that let you figure out, like, localize, right? You don't have a compass and you don't know where you are, so you have to go until you see something noteworthy, like a rock that's big enough, and
were you playing
it was
when
impossible.
You spawned on both sides, or originally you could only spawn
Just
on one side?
No.
I started playing when
could you use the maps to spawn?
Yeah. I used the maps, but I don't know that I ever.
Okay.
I only ever chose one side.
Yeah,
I could choose both, but I only ever chose one because I memorized how to get from one place to the lumber mill, and then from the lumber mill to the extract. But if I spawned anywhere else,
so originally you could only spawn on the one side. So you know that desolate area that you said that there's nothing. Everyone used to spawn on that side,
where like the plain is.
Yeah, so everyone spawned on that side, and then
all the way around the walls.
The big rock and that wall was always a navigational point, and then the water. So it used to be I can't remember what we called it. It was like Death Alley or some shit. And there used to be that spot where between the big rock and the spine, where everyone used to walk through there, and it was just like it was where 90% of the fights used to go down, because everyone spawned on that one side and walked straight through it. And then they added the maps to spawn on both sides.
Run. Yeah, spawn. It's always like, even customs was, you would spawn if you're closest to the bridge or any of the crossings. You would get across and you would look back.
Yep.
And
it's why they opened up both sides. That's why it's so much better now.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do changes to maps, actually, I want them to put in 2 more extracts for interchange.
Yeah,
I think 2.
Yeah,
extracts.
Oh man, dude, 2. I can't. And we have the one paid extract, but I don't use it because 90% of the time the SUV isn't there.
People actually use that extract? I don't think I've ever used it once.
On the boot runs, I used to a lot.
Yeah, it's a good way to get out, but every time I go there, I'm like, oh cool, the car's not there. Huh. Let me just go north.
I don't even think about it.
You can't have like a map. I don't know what their deal was with just 2 extracts, but it just forces so many times you have to run into each other. I don't know if that's the whole idea, right? To kind of catch people, because on the north side you have grass, open areas, and everything. You can snipe people coming across. This is massive section on north side, which I don't know. You know, the water side and the railway.
There's the big tower. Oh man, I won't be able to describe it, so I won't bother. But I know what you're talking about. But yeah, the way that map is designed with the 2 spawns, or with the spawns and the 2 extracts, is, I think it doesn't it's antithetical to
English terms.
Fights. It is not good for fighting other people. Because
that's all you had to say.
It's all about timing. Where if you get in and into the mall at a certain time, and then somebody else gets in there, you'll just end up going past people. Like, you have to converge on the same place at the same time. Otherwise, you don't find people. It's either Kiba is already looted, or I go to Kiba and I don't hear anything. And it just so happens to be that either people took too long on the spawn. There's nowhere to go except
3
for
levels.
that X.
As well.
If they made an X, it would be perfect. Like, you extract on the opposite corner, because then everyone goes through the center. Like in theory, you can still go
blocked
around the
off
edges.
on the sides, and you have to go through the engine or the mall. That would clash everything. That would be nice, though.
Like, I think there's things to learn from games like Apex, where Apex made choke points on maps, so then people had to fight each other. So, like, the biggest issue, would say, with something like PUBG was there was this middle game lull every game. And then Apex said, well, what we'll do with that is we'll just give lots of dead area on the game that you can't actually go to force people into choke points. Now, in Tarkov, that's kind of dangerous because of it just sets up camping. But,
there's a lot to learn from Overwatch, too. Not necessarily that you want to directly apply, but just conceptually to how they designed the maps. There's a really good video on this
Apex
by
or Overwatch?
Overwatch. There's a really good video, a channel called Extra Credits, that's worth watching about map design. And they talk about Overwatch and how, like I said, it doesn't exactly really apply to Tarkov, but like I said, there's concepts that I think could translate.
The last thing I want to talk about before we finish this up is what would be a event for the pre-wipe event.
Pre-12.
Yeah.
Laser guns.
Laser guns. I've heard some pretty funny ones out there. One was everyone should have max skills for a few days. I thought that'd be pretty funny.
You mean
hell yeah, some game shark shit. Finally, I can feel like a god like Pestily and like Ghost Freak.
I'm a shitter. That would be like the old days. Because, I mean, there's only like 4 skills or wow. No, it's actually more now. Because some of them, the insta-looting and
you'd be able to instant loot.
Give everybody like quadruple HP.
But
so
I don't want
time
them
to
to
kill
do the money.
Is like 100 milliseconds instead of 0.1 milliseconds.
The other one,
everyone's just a sponge.
I thought of yesterday was, I think it was yesterday, the day before, was all the scavs are now killer.
All of them?
Yeah.
No, dude. No.
Yep.
No.
You want to talk about breaking the server? I bet you he's got some subroutines. I'm sure that would fuck the game up if there was 30 instances of him.
Please no.
All the scavs killer.
But I would love if there was Killa and Reshala and his guards on Factory. Oh my god, dude, Factory would be insane. I want raiders everywhere, and to replace all the scavs.
Raiders again? Raiders again would be fun.
Imagine playing.
Like
I just don't want them.
Play Factory and you kill the first 2 killers, and you kill the players, and then every single scav that spawns in is a killer from that point onwards. Just think about that.
Let's just have like poisonous, multiplying, electrified killers that just like that clip with a ghost where he throws the nade and they all scream. Imagine if those were all just killers coming in after you.
No.
Let's go for it.
I think the biggest thing for me is it shouldn't be anything like I don't want infinite money.
They've done that every time.
Yeah, I just don't like it. It takes away the one thing I love about the game.
The fear of losing.
The fear of losing.
See, the irony there, though, is that you basically have infinite money, Ghost. Anyway, like you were
I don't
what
play
always
like that though.
You don't play like that because you could possibly lose your 80 million that you've got. You could lose it if you theoretically died every single raid from now until the wipe. But then you just have empty cases worth 150 million.
Oh, it just becomes, hard for me to every time I kill a geared guy, I'm just like, I actually have better shit than you, and then I just move off. The whole me killing someone and then being like, fuck yeah, give me your ulted, and then I'm just like, I have like 700. Yeah, just fucking keep your hand.
I like it because everybody's fully geared pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I'm just.
And it feels like the good old days. Like when me and Pest did the 1 hour kill challenge. That was one of the most fun things Is it 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 3 hour kill challenge. And then they added out of raid healing the day after. So my record will never be beaten.
It was in raid.
I mean, not out of raid healing. No, it was healing animations.
Yeah.
They added it the next day. Like, well, you'll never beat that record, Pest. Sorry, bud.
Was it 117?
I don't remember.
117.
Mine's pretty on point right now.
Yours. say. I have one thing.
So what
Bigger
is
than
it?
me.
In 3 hours, 117
17 PMCs. You got
I could fucking destroy that.
Actually, yeah,
Factory.
no, you know, healing animations, you don't even need to heal. Just pop a morphine. You don't even need to heal anymore. That's actually we could do that again. We could do that again.
Propital.
ETG, fucking morphine, done.
But I did that during that event where everybody was fully geared, which actually I don't know if it made it like simultaneously harder and easier at the same time.
Because you could always
there
pick
were
up
people
gear
all
and
rushing
armor.
in. I didn't pick anything up. I built like 80 guns and 80 sets of armor and everything right beforehand.
In my 4 hour stream, 2 hours in, I filled up a whole a dog tag case and a half already of me just killing people. So I mean, I'm coming for that record, boy.
Well, if there's going to be anybody that's going to beat the record, it's going to be you, Ghost. And now I've kind of wish I hadn't said anything.
If I could get a full server for it, I'd give it a go now.
That's going to be boring. That's going to be
blame
boring.
it on that, Pest. That's okay. Listen, you can't be the best at everything, all right? You gotta let us have some things.
I never said I'm the best at anything. Actually, no, I said I'm the best.
Said right before
I said
we
I'm
started,
the best Tarkov.
You know who I am? I'm the best at everything, and I was like, okay.
And then I thought I better put you in the middle because
because I like to be
center of attention.
Little spook. Well, yeah, because I'm a power bottom, so it works good both ways. I'm the meat in the sandwich. You know what I mean?
When are we going to get Tarkov LAN edition where we can LAN each other and then we'll have an actual... We'll actually have a battle. A battle of all ages.
A LAN?
Yep. And we can play it and then we'll set up a meet in Europe and we can all play against each other. For the crown. Who's the best Tarkov player?
The game needs to be done before that can be...
Nah. Current state, 0.7. We're going back to 0.7.
Not a fuck. 0.7?
Nah, actually, I think 0.5 would be better. Before Battle Nonsense, this video.
Yeah.
Where is that? That was pre...
No face shield.
That was like when... No face shield. You had a kiver. You were
and
like
fort.
unkillable.
Kiver and a fort.
Kiver didn't have face shield, right? It was just a kiver.
With a fort.
There was no face hitbox either.
Yeah. You had bloody faces and shit, and I was just like, nah, bro, I'm good.
I remember one of my earliest clips is me rolling up to a dude, and I had a 9mm pistol, and I just remember going like reload, all into his head with the kiver, and he's just like looking at me. I remember being like, what's going on? I didn't understand. I feel like that's how probably so many new players are. They don't understand the pen mechanics and stuff, that the game just seems broken.
When the Glock was at it, I put a whole Glock mag into someene's head. He turned around and just shot me, and I was like, you're fucking joke. I crept up on him. I was so mad. That was before face shields.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, in all honesty, I actually wish face shields were taken out of the game, and there was no face hitbox.
You mean face... Okay, so you want the face hitbox gone?
Yep. Yep. I felt like right now... If you were going to play the game full sweaty, like, I want to be the best at the game, you'd wear, like, a killer helmet. But I hate the fact that all my vision's gone. All my vision's gone.
No, I wouldn't, because so much of my limited ability comes from being able to hear and see people. Both things that the killer helmet completely fucking destroys.
Yeah, which is
I
why
can't hear anything and I can't wear it. But that's why I wear an airframe, yeah. So I think that's why most of the players I see these days are running chops with the mask, and the shield is pretty clear now these days. And I just actually put out a video literally this morning, a compilation of just like spamming my face shield and surviving. So I feel like it makes a difference. But I'm with you a little bit.
Just on the visual, like, I think it makes the game look shit when you're like always got a blurry face shield, and I think Tarkov's one of the most beautiful games out there, but I can never fucking see anything because
it's because you use reshade.
It's now the grass is being redone now.
Yeah.
So the distance and also the rendering on it. Hopefully, it's not going to be when you take a painkiller again. My stream's just gonna go. I know you stream, but it's pretty much fucked at this point. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said forever that the one best feature and one worst feature that Tarkov added was the face hitbox.
Yep.
Because it made it so that like anybody can win a fight. Theoretically speaking, in most cases, like it's not impossible to kill like the deity in most cases if you play it smart. But at the same time, it also means that like every fight's a coin flip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the better player doesn't win 98% of the time like it does in a lot of other games. The better player wins 57% of the time in like a straight up aim fight. Yeah. But I think it would do more harm than good removing it.
I just think, I know it's not for everyone, but back in the day, my fights used to like I'm from a Half-Life background, right, where fights used to be like not just one bullet, and I know it's more COD.
You want to like Call of Duty?
I know it's more COD-like, but when you could do like healing whilst shooting, and there was no face hitbox, my fights were like really fun. There was like peek out, take a few shots, reposition, take some more shots, throw a grenade, put him out of position, and then get the kill. Now these days, it's just like scene dead,
and with that, it rewards a better player, because here's the thing: right now in Tarkov, if two players shoot at each other, both shoot at their heads or whatever, right? It's like whoever shot first within the first millisecond is going to win the fight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that player was better, right? Because you're comparing one moment in time to one moment in time. But if you have an extended fight where it takes a lot more bullets and there's more healing and stuff, then the better player gets rewarded in a fight, because there's now 50 comparisons that you're making in one fight, not just one. So over the course of 50, on average, the better player is going to be way better, right? You're going to win 30 or 40 of those little mini decisions you have to make, which is why I love Mordau so much, because when I play against someone that's better than me, 95% of the time I lose. And if I'm better than somebody, 95% of the time I win. And when you're equally matched, it's super fun because it can last forever. In Tarkov, it's a coin flip. And I feel like there's somewhere in between. I know that's not a popular opinion, because everybody feels like if you make it so that one bullet doesn't kill everybody all the time, now you're Call of Duty and this is a bad thing. But there's some fairness. There's some fair way to look at this. I think that's reasonable.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to say that like I want to butcher the game, but I just remember those days as I had my most fun fights back then. I don't remember like these days. Even if I'd say down a squad, even if I was to down a 5-man squad, I killed every single one of them in 2 to 3 bullets. Like, it wasn't like I was, like, juking around. Like, sometimes, most of my fights that go for a long period of time now involve 20 nades going each way. We're trying to put each other out of position, and then once we finally get the other person, one person gets out of position, we get the kill.
Well, what do you say when someone says realism doesn't work like that with guns, Pest? Or just play Apex. What do you say?
No, like, my argument would be Tarkov isn't realistic at all. It's immersive, and it doesn't actually have...
What do you mean?
And it has a lot of gameisms that aren't even close to realistic.
Massively realistic. Not a fuck.
What, you know what I mean? People don't run around willingly in Warzone with just a knife in their hands?
No, we call airstrikes and blow the fuck up the building.
What is that?
Tarkov's not realistic at all.
But that's Call of Duty.
The only realistic factor of Tarkov is the fact that the gun moves around like this. Like that's about as far as it goes, and you breathe.
Wait a minute, my whole life is a lie. I was told this was realistic, and that anything that moves away from realism is bad.
Well, you're a streamer. You don't know.
If you want to argue the realism thing, then it should be like hardcore Diablo.
Just to interrupt, tell me a game that's more realistic. Armor 2, 3. I used that when I was I was in the military. That's what we used as our simulator. We actually did.
So why don't you play Arma?
I don't want to fucking play Arma. It's not fun. A realistic game is not fun.
No,
I'd rather bash my head against this fucking desk than play Arma.
But that's not what chat's saying. That's not what the doggo said. The doggo's like, I want realism.
Doggo just opens the door, dude. Like, what? Can I get some tips on Can I make my dog open my door?
When you lose your arms, but you're still holding and shooting the weapon, is that realistic? No.
You just strap a fucking splint on your leg after you've broken it.
There might be some folks that don't realize I'm using sarcasm.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, are you guys not fine? He's okay. Sarcasm, boys.
Like, I'm not saying that I want Tarkov to be totally changed. I'm just saying I had my most fun times back in 0.5, 0.7 days where you could heal pretty quickly and you could shoot off lots, and it was immersive, but it was fun fights. And I don't really know many fights these days that go longer than 3 or 4 seconds. You know, every time I see a player, it's just one of us are dead. Whoever sees the other person first and gets the shot off.
You don't experience anything anymore. Things just happen. There's not cool stories and experiences. Like the only cool stories or experiences I have is if like I take a hatchling under my wing, and then I one tap a bunch of dudes and he gets his gear and then we get out together, right? Like there's never sick fights that are extended where you're repositioning and throwing grenades and using cover. There's none of that.
Like I think
a few times a week I get something like that.
The only person that I've seen can do it and have moments like that, and I fucking swear it's all scripted. Like I'm saying now,
one of those
Smoke.
two. Yeah,
it's Smoke or Anton. Honestly, there's no way. If I try to interact with a hatchling, he tries to hit my knee, like what? Or he pulls a fucking MP7 out of his ass and tries to shoot me.
You just gotta get quick. You gotta get quicker with those F1 binds, man. Those FT binds. Because honestly, I could do that in every one of my raids. And actually, literally yesterday, I did it like 7 raids in a row.
Yeah.
But the sad part is that that's even a thing. Like, why is there? It's only easy because there's 3 hatchlings at minimum in every factory raid, and one of them is going to not run away. They're going to try to wiggle at you, and half the time I don't shoot them in the face instantly. 10% of the time. But yeah, I mean, again, like, when was the last time you saw an extended fight? I remember back in the day having like a 1v3 and having it be like, I'm healing, I'm running, I'm getting shot, I'm healing, I'm running, I'm repositioning. Nothing like that happens. Either I die instantly or I kill all 3 of them basically instantly.
I think the only time that I would have something like that now is if I actually played as a squad. Because it generally comes down to, like, if say I was to run into a 3-man, I'd be like, all right, got the first one, and then I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm going to reposition, I'm going to move across to here. I reposition, I go, yep, they're going to be pushing up to where my last body, or where I was last, got the other 2. Like, that's generally how the fights would go down.
Yeah.
And when I get shot at these days on a map like Customs, the first thing I do is just go prone and hope I'm in a bush. And then they're like, fuck, where did he go? Did I kill him? And then they start moving forward and I'm like, he's dead. And it's just, I don't know. It's just how I kind of feel it's all gone now. But it's not to say the game's not fun. It's just different to what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole... I'm totally different. I love the whole CS Rainbow Six Siege. But I do miss the whole having fun and it being a game, right? And now it's all about, I need to get to this spot before this guy sees me and insta-headshots me, or, it becomes...
Like, we haven't even spoken about the Ash 12 yet. The Ash 12 is a 50 cal. I don't know how many rounds are in a chamber. Sorry, in the magazine. But that thing's got like I think Nikita said it's going to be 110 damage per bullet. Like,
depending on pin and everything, and fire rate and handling, even and semi-automatic.
Even if the pen's like 30, I'm sure Veritas can work it out. If the pen's like 30, it's going to just one tap nearly every armor. It'll be another SVD.
No, tap armor.
You'd have to know what the 3 relevant values. There's damage, armor damage, and pen.
Yeah.
It could zero out your armor in 3 shots and then kill you in the 4th. It could not zero out your armor but kill you because it pens in the 2nd and 3rd, and you die even though your armor doesn't get zeroed out because it just pens right through it. Or it could be like hollow points are against, Gen 4, which is to say they might as well be water balloons.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be like a fucking slug gun anyway. It's a 209 or a Saiga with slug rounds. It's going to be like that. It's going to feel like that.
For the people in chat saying
in the
that
beginning,
it's a big round, it's a 50 cal. I get that. I'm not saying that it shouldn't kill people, and it shouldn't be fucking epic damage. The point I'm trying to make is like the game's.
Is it BMG?
No,
or is it a different? So it's not.
It's that's I know
smaller
you're
than
50,
this or bigger than this.
That's 12.7, right?
Yeah, which is what it's going to be.
Still,
it'll be a shorter one though, I think.
Yeah, it's still.
But it's still this. Okay.
Yeah, it's still 50, but it's cased, so it's smaller.
Wait, so the case is smaller, but the diameter
shorter. Yes, it's still the same.
The actual projectile is the same size, though, right?
The projectile could be shorter as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
That's a fucking giant piece of metal. God damn.
Yeah.
I want to see limbs fly off. Come on. They can't put 50 BMG in the game until they put gore.
Dismemberment.
I'm putting my foot down. Where's Nikita? I'm gonna text him.
It's coming to the point where you can just use any gun in the game because there's always the bullets are just so fucking powerful. With using, they keep adding new guns. So the SA-58 is probably the best gun in the game at the moment. I don't know what your app says, but it would have to be up there as one of the best guns in the game. With it one shots anything under a Gen 4 within an M80 round, and then with two shots
in the chest.
Yes. Go on, let up your app. It will one shot. I've done the testing.
I haven't finished that calculator. I believe you. Yeah. These are the reasons why I want to fucking finish this, because what I want to do is I can automate this, so you can hit a button and literally see time to kill for every gun that's fully auto. I can instantly tell you against level 3 armor what's the best gun, level 4 armor what's the best gun, level 5 armor what's the best gun, level 6 armor what's the best gun and ammo, because all you need, you run it through all the combinations of damage, armor damage, pen, and fire rate, because that matters.
But if all these guns, if every gun in the game one shots, which is realistic, every fight is over in a few seconds. I don't know. I like the times when I used to take a few hits and run around and like an idiot. That's what raiders are to me now, or people that with shit ammo. As soon as I go against a geared person, it's always whoever sees each other first.
80 does do 80 damage. Holy shit.
Yeah, 80 damage, but it's
40
The question is, what's the armor? What's the armor damage reduction? Because if it reduces it down below 80, then it's not a one tap.
I mean, you're gonna.
The frag chance is 17%.
Still, for me, M80 is if I hit you twice, I've destroyed your armor. You've all stopped the rounds, or that second round has pinned and fractured and kills you with the second round because I've two-shot at people.
But given the fire rate, and again, this is where calculators help. Given the fire rate, like M995, can you shoot 3 rounds of M995 in the same time as 1.5 rounds out of an SA-50? You know what I mean? What are the fire rates? Because that's relevant too, right? Like,
yeah.
Fire rate is the thing that people don't talk about very often, unless you're talking about SMGs. But it's not
750. So an M4's 800.
750.
M4's 800.
The HK is
850.
850.
How much did you say the
750 for an SA-58?
100 round.
Huh. So it's 12% faster.
It's saying chat's saying 700. So Tarkov's made it 700. IRL it's 750.
So I wonder then 995. It'll do 42 damage. Yeah, I can't do the math right now, but like the question is it noticeably better? Where in the span of like half a second, is 2 shots, out of 308, is that massively different than 3 shots or 2.2 shots. After a certain point, 2 rounds of 995 will kill you to the chest also. And it does 53 pen. So
I'm just saying. But a
for me,
995 can't one
use
shot.
armor.
If they're naked, they're guaranteed dead in one shot to the chest with a SA-58.
Exactly what I want.
Or if their armor's fucked already, you've already...
Yeah, but if they're naked, then what does it fucking matter how long it takes? It could take 4 years. They're not going to look at you to death.
If someone's already got like a Gen 4 on, but the Gen 4 is already half busted, now that they're almost naked, you know what I mean? You got to take that into account.
I mean, if he's using a high mobility, you hit him in his arms, blacked out arms with M80. Like, you tapping that guy and killing him in his arm before you even get to his fucking chest.
The point is, every gun in the game at the moment is getting to the point where it's going to one tap, which is realistic, except for like pistols. Yeah. And that's why fights are now becoming so short. This went for a really long time when I just said what's something we could finish. So for the pre-wipe event.
Yeah.
What was the argument? Someone said that. I don't know. Oh, we'll talk about the unlimited everything, so we can go factory and get the most kills. I remember how we got to it.
Oh
yeah. Fuck, we went into tangent.
We did go on a tangent.
We should do that. We should record offline, obviously, the podcasts. I would just do the thing, remember, that I chatted about, and just upload it. People can just listen to us.
What, this podcast?
On Spotify. No, on Spotify.
Yeah.
We just
I could download
make
this.
it, and then people
can listen. We do need to have a Tarkov tournament eventually. I need to show Veritas up.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay.
But this is a stupid thing about those tournaments.
We're never going to be able to do it because they're not going to ever have the features, and we're never going to be close enough.
Oh, dude, the issue.
Make our own goddamn features.
We'll do it at TwitchCon. We'll take a laptop.
Yeah, I put in for the partner thing. What game would you like to play? And if I end up getting a chance to stream at the partner booth or whatever, fucking if they have Tarkov on the computer, I'm getting you, and you're sitting on my lap, and you can be on your iPhone or your Android Kindle or whatever you use to play Tarkov on, and we can play side by side, split screen.
I'll bring my laptop. I'll bring my laptop.
Okay. Bring whatever you won't blame.
Can I
you losing on?
What's up, Ghost?
You can fit in my luggage, and I don't mean my carry-on.
I think
there's a sex joke buried deep in there. Trust me.
Deep. It's okay. I got
just want you on his lap. Yeah,
I got you, boo boo.
I'm sweating again.
All right, let's finish this up here. I want to say thanks, Ghost Freak and Veritas, for taking the time to hang out here and talk shit with me. We are not employed or anything by Battlestate Games. We just love this game. We're just very passionate about it. So we just like getting together and talking about it from time to time. So if you're not already following both these guys, I think Veritas is going to go live after this as well. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the intro video on again, and I'm going to quickly make myself a cup of coffee, and then I'll be back and I'll be doing Tarkov. I'll be playing some labs.
From NA Factory
and stuff.
Fancy.
Go play some Factory against you.
NA Factory. Let's do this. West Coast. Meet me there. Catch me outside.
Oh,
how about that? I can't.
How about that?
I can't connect to California without getting.
I'll invite you.
All right, then we run away from each other.
Oh, please, complicated. Then I guess we don't have to.
I need to get 70. I'm like 3 days away, guys. All right, well, I'll duel Veritas some other time. All right, but yeah, guys, make sure you go give Veritas and Ghost Freak some love. So, you going to bed, Ghost?
Yeah, man, it's like 3 a.m. So I have to be up in like 3 hours.
So, give them some love. I'm going to put the intro video back on. I'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll get into some raids. But yeah, thanks again, guys, and yeah.
Thank you. As always.
Thanks, Pestily.
I'm back soon, chat.
Cheers, guys.